back, YouTubers. This is Eric at Emery Hill Farm. My little co-pilot is Sasha. Anyways, doing a little discing. I disced last night, so I didn't really make anything for videos during the dark. It's kind of hard. I'm just warming up the tractor. I got to change the oil in it today before I put the blade on it. So I figured since it's daylight, we'll do a little time of discing. Still quite bumpy. Run the box scraper, hopefully. Start flattening out some of this land. High spots that are pretty high where it takes a long time with the box blade. It ain't the first time I've done it, but it just takes a long time. I mean, you're only pulling with that box blade probably 4 inches down at a time. A lot of circling around. You'll see the process. Works good for just, you know, filling voids, small voids, and you're trying to fill a couple feet and take a couple feet down. It's quite the process. And sometimes you get right down to the hard paint. You scrape all the loose stuff off. You actually have to go and re-plow it, loosen the soil again. Just pulls a lot easier that way. I'll tip you around here and you can see what's going on out back. This section of field right here, all the way from that trees to right about here, was all grown in a bunch of trees, and it was wet. I mean wet. The excavator was dragging right to the turntable through there. Yeah, so like I was saying, back there when I was through that land, it was extremely wet. They actually had a watering hole. Must be once upon a time for the cows. Yeah, so it was extremely challenging when I cleared it because boy oh boy, you couldn't get nothing in there. Kind of had to track all the trees and debris out. Piled a lot of it there and burnt a lot of the brush right in place once it dried, which the bottom didn't do so well because it was that wet. But I was able to get in there and do a ditch, and the following year I was able to start working in there. Last year it was still a little on the soft side where you really cut in, and this year for the spring I'm really impressed actually of how it dried up. The ditch definitely helped 110%, that's for sure. So it's exciting because I probably, maybe only an acre of land or so down that strip maybe I gained, but that's still quite a bit of hay crop. So it's a pretty exciting year for me to get this top field done. I wish I would have been doing YouTube, a year ago, because man, did I work my butt off trying to get this cleaned up and get the land cleared, and just the hilltop down there. I mean, there's a vein. It's solid gravel rock, so it's really challengeable. But I cut that hilltop down probably about 2.5 feet in some spots. I'd like to go a little bit more. It's definitely rough. I broke a lot of points on the chisel plows. Broke my single shank subsoiler quite quite a few times. It's just a really extremely hard packed ground. I noticed this year we had a really cold winter for a change, and the frost definitely helped out. I see the ground is, the top layers have loosened up a little bit, so maybe after I get this section planted, I'll move on to working back on there. For that, I'd like to get a big dozer down there and probably a couple of days worth of work. The fields run. I'll take you back there one day. So in every valley, it's sort of like a holding pond. There's no way for the water to escape, so it stays just wet enough and don't want to grow anything decent. So intentions are to, this section was like that, but this was a little more sandier, so easy to work. So I'm hoping that once that side straightened out and get it flat and it's all a hay field, I don't have to worry about it for a long time. That's the plan anyways. I know pulling a lot of it down like that, a lot of people say take some topsoil off, but you know, I get that part, but at the same time, you know, I can't, the land's not growing well anyways. It's wet in the valleys. So I think I'd rather have flat and smooth land than just having wet holes, you know, and stuff ain't growing. Hopefully that's not the case. I hope it still grows well. I plan on, you know, scraping a little topsoil. You know, once I take the high side down, pull the topsoil back on top a little bit, you know, and this way you can enough the seed to grow. And after a couple of years, you should start just getting something going. When I get the tractors warmed up now, I'm going to pull it to the barn and dump the oil out of it. I know it's not too much of an exciting video watching oil change, but hey, what it is, it's part of my everyday. Lucky enough, it's a holiday weekend, so, and it gives me a long weekend, so I get 4 days off. I can get quite a bit done. Alright, I'll stop babbling and I'll get you guys set up and for the oil change. Want to say bye, Sasha? Bye. Just like leave me alone. I want to sleep. These hood panels can be a pain in the butt, but I'm just thankful that I have one of these tractors that has the hood panels. I'm missing one panel like this on the other side. So if anybody knows where there's one for passenger side, for a Heston or a Fiat, please let me know. But yeah, like I said, you see a lot of these tractors around this area, and you don't see them with panels. And I can see why. I actually had them fall off and ran over one. She should come out nice and clean today. Nice, well, not nice and clean, but nice and liquidy. A little warm.
Abigail ate them.
Did they?
Abigail.
Only one? No one else wanted to eat them?
Well, Jenny started to eat one, but I think she spit it out. But Boo was following me when I came back up here.
Yeah, when I went out and fed him this morning, he followed me all
He was
over.
sucking on my fingers. It's freezing.
Yeah, it's a little cold this morning. If the wind would stop, it'd be nicer.
Millie looked like she was dead. She was laying out like this. Except like on the ground.
You almost ready to go for the tractor place there, pick up some parts. little update. I did get the oil changed on the tractor. The wind kept blowing my tripod over, phone fell over, yay, but did manage to get the oil changed. Also did manage to break the throttle cable. So the throttle kept falling all the time. You always had to hold your hand on it, and it's real annoying. So I figured since I had it down, I'd look into that, and I went to adjust the back of the mechanism. I'll show you it. As I was working it back and forth, the cable ended up breaking. So I got one on order. So all I have is foot throttle for now, which I gotta get stuff done. So I'm gonna have a sore ankle for a little while. So I shouldn't complain. I mean, the old timers used to do this with horse and buggy. I'll show you what I got going on in here. So there's the throttle mechanism on the back. This nut is what adjusts the, I guess, spring pressure and how much you want to restrict your throttle and hold it in place. And being so old, it was all seized up. And here's where the throttle cable is back here. I don't know if you can see that or not. And yeah, so that's the part that ended up breaking. So I ended up cutting that video a little short. My father ended up showing up to give me a hand. I had to cut some trees along the hedge line on the neighbor's property hanging over and stuff. And I needed someone to operate the backhoe. I was in the bucket, had him raise me up and cut him as high as I could. So I would have liked to record it all, but I had help doing it, so I didn't want to make him wait of messing around trying to make content. I just appreciate the help enough that I ain't gonna slow him down. My daddy, like, he quits. 5:30 comes around and time to go home, which I can't blame him. He worked hard all his life. And my annoying guinea hens.